Hi guys, it's Grace from Grace Gets Gastric. Today is Tuesday, June 12th, and I am here today with my week 23 post-op VSG update. So to jump right into stats, again, my name is Grace. I am 5'8", 27 years old, and on January 2nd, 2018, I had the Vertical Sleeve Gastrectomy or VSG weight loss surgery. My high weight was 354 pounds in May of 2017. I had to do a 6-month medically supervised weight loss diet required by my insurance, and over the course of that 6 months, I lost 35 pounds, so my starting weight day of surgery was 319 pounds. Last week, I came to with a weight of 245.7, and this morning I weighed in at 243.8. So that is a weekly loss of 1.9 pounds, a loss since surgery of 75.2, and a loss since my highest weight of 110.2 pounds. So I'm pretty happy with that. I have been seeing actually a lot of fluctuation up and a little bit down, but mostly steady or up. So I honestly was going to be happy if it was in the 244s, and this was 243.8. So I'm actually pretty pleased with that. With that loss. I am sick again. I don't know if you can tell by my beautiful visage, but I woke up this morning feeling awful. It feels a lot like I think like 2 weeks ago I mentioned I was sick. It feels pretty much just like that. I ended up actually not going into work today because just like the effort of putting on clothes made me feel really like nauseated and like exhausted. So I'm not happy about it. If I breathe too deeply, like my chest, like it gets like that tickle and I want to cough, but it's not like a good deep cough, so it doesn't satisfy anything. So I'm trying to suppress it. But yeah, so maybe that's why I lost a little bit of weight, because like yesterday I think I was like 245 something again. So, but I'm sick, I guess. But yeah, because I felt so terrible today, I did not work out this morning, which I'm really bummed about, particularly because I didn't really work out this weekend either. Saturday, I had stuff in the morning, so we didn't go on our walk. I did do something in the afternoon that was more active, but it didn't actually get me all the way to my step goal. And then Sunday, usually I would go to the gym, but again, I had something going on in the morning that I couldn't get out of, and then we thought we would maybe go walk Green Lake, the lake, later in the afternoon, but it was raining, and I just didn't feel like it, and I should have just gone, but it's really hard for me to go work out anytime other than in the morning. So yeah, I haven't really been working out, and my bag is packed. You can see that little blue thing right there. I was all ready to go. I actually woke up at like 5 and I go work out at 6. So like I was up and I couldn't fall back asleep, but I just was like, I felt so shitty. I knew that it would not be a good idea. I briefly considered just going and walking like the treadmill, but even then I was like, I think that it's just gonna, considering I couldn't even like put on pants, I think maybe that would have been too much. So I know it's like good for my body, but it just sucks because now it's been, by the time I work out again, assuming I'm good to work out on Thursday, it will have been a week. And I just hate letting it go that far because I'm just worried. I know myself, and every time I've ever started working out, something's happened that legitimately I needed to not work out, and then I just never worked out again, and I don't want that to happen this time. I think it's different this time, but I'm more vigilant, but that is what it is. What else did I want to say? So I had a cookie last week on Friday. It was a regular cookie. And I'm still not totally sure why I had the cookie. Like, I mean, beyond that, I wanted a cookie, and I just really wanted one. And it wasn't like an emotion. It was just like, I wanted a cookie. And normally I'm like, but you don't need a cookie, and I'm fine. But I got a cookie, and the thing is it was not that good of a cookie. If I was gonna get a chocolate chip cookie, I should have I need to commit. I need the best chocolate chip cookies in the world are sold by this grocery store near me. Like that would legitimately be worth a cheat day for. And I wouldn't be able to eat a whole one. But this cookie, it wasn't even worth it, is the thing. Just cookie alone for the calories. It wasn't that great. I didn't eat the whole thing. Partially because I felt like shit. I just felt awful. I immediately was exhausted, and it was like lunch. And I honestly felt like crap the rest of the day. Like, not quite nauseated, but just like my whole body it just felt bad. It's hard to describe, but I think some of you guys know what I'm talking about. And I mean, it was like what I felt like when I mentioned when I was at my mom's and I ate really badly there, and I just felt bad. And I felt immediately like, you know, like within 10 minutes of eating half of this cookie, I felt awful. And I'm just like, I think I forget that I don't feel good when I'm eating these crappy foods. It wasn't even worth it. And then I felt bad, and it wasn't even a good cookie. So I don't know where my head was at. I've been coming off of kind of just some blah weeks, and I actually, the kind of annoying thing is yesterday I was like, I'm on an upswing. There was a lot of stuff going on, not weight loss surgery related, that's been stressing me out, and it's like getting resolved. There was like this change I'm making on a project that I manage, and we're kind of keeping things hush hush, but we finally announced the change so like people can, because we were worried like how people would take it. And so it was like just the announcement part was like stressing me out. And there was a big thing, again, another thing I was working on that I've been working on for like 2 years, and I finished it. I mean, and I still have to like clean it up and like all that stuff, but like I finished the first draft, and my sister, her life is like a fucking hot mess, but she found a place to live, which was kind of stressing me out because I was like, you know, I don't want her to be homeless, and like she's like taking steps to do things. So there was just like a lot of stuff that was stressing me out that was finally like we were making progress on. And then I wake up this morning and I feel like crap. So I don't really, I'm not quite still riding the high of upswing, but I feel generally like mentally I feel a lot better. Physically I feel awful. I love you. But what I was going to say is that I feel like I've been feeling kind of blah, and then I haven't had a lot of great losses, which I mean is maybe being a little dramatic because like the loss from 2 weeks ago was like a big drop. It was like 3 pounds or something. But I weigh myself every day, and really so it's June 12th. My weight on June 2nd was 244. My weight today is 243.8. So in 11 days, I've lost 0.2 pounds. And I actually like gained weight and then dropped it. I mean, and it's not real weight, it's water weight or whatever, but it's still the scale number. And so, yeah, it's not, this has been like and it's not even really a stall because like week by week, I'm still losing, but it just feels a little bit lower and less movement than it has in the past. And so, and I'm sure like having a fucking cookie didn't help. For the most part though, like the cookie aside, like my diet's been pretty decent. So I'm not making, huge, I'm definitely not like really overeating, but I also realized as I kind of recalculated not my maintenance calories, but like my calorie expenditure for my weight. So like if I were to just lie in bed all day, how much am I burning? And it's a lot lower than it used to be because I'm a lot less than I used to be. And so I think it's something like 1,400, and my calories are like, I try to max out, you know, 800 to 1,000. And I move more, you know, I'm not just lying in bed all day. So there is some, but I don't take into account that kind of expenditure, my energy expenditure by exercise, just because I don't think that's very a consistent or accurate way to do. So anyways, I'm sick, so my train of thought, sorry if I'm like all over the place, but I decided to be a little bit more conscious of my macros. You know, I have my macros in there in my Fitness Pal. The one thing that I'm try very hard to hit is always over 80 grams of protein and below 1,000 carbs. But I think I'm going to try to, raise my protein up to 90 grams, and see what happens. So, and honestly, I'm usually overnight. I'm usually there already, but I'm just going to be more conscious of actually hitting 90 grams. And then 50 net carbs. My carbs right now are set to, in my FitnessPal, to be below 70 because, and then I do try to stay below 50 net. 70 just allows me the fiber that I subtract. But I'm just going to be, if I go a little over, I haven't been too bothered by it. So I'm just going to be a little bit more diligent about that. And I know that 50 net maybe seems high to some people. That works for me. And also keeping in mind right now, my vitamins, so I'm taking calcium chews. Those are 12 carbs. So, and I count those as part of my daily carbs. So of that 50 net, 12 of them are from calcium alone. I did just buy some calcium pills that are carb-free, like the big horse ones to swallow. So once I finish my calcium chews, I'm going to start trying these calciums to see how it goes. I like the calcium chews, but A, they're expensive, and B, they're calories and carbs that if I can avoid that's only going to be good for me in the long run. So we'll see how it goes. If I can't handle them, then I'll go back to the chews. If they're not the end of the world, it's 12 carbs, 45 calories, but that adds up. And the other thing I'm doing is hit a minimum of 100 ounces of water a day. I normally do hit that, but usually it's between 80 and 100. So I'm just going to be a little bit more diligent to get up to the 100 point. Also, I wanted to say, speaking of vitamins, I didn't take my vitamins today, and I won't take them tomorrow or Thursday because my plan is Friday morning to have my labs drawn for my 6-month post-op appointment, which is in the beginning of July. I think it's like July 1 or July 2. So, yeah, for my surgeon, they asked me to not take any vitamins for at least 3 days prior to the tests. So that is what I'm doing. It's very weird. I don't like it, but that's what it is. I am still taking my Omeprazole though, because yeah, it's not a vitamin. But yeah, so a few other things I just wanted to mention real quick are some NSVs. So I've noticed, and I haven't really talked much about it, is just like my body is more, not necessarily bendy, but like I can just move it and like in positions and ways that I couldn't before. Like I've done yoga. I used to do yoga more often, and I stopped doing it because when you're large, it's really difficult to do a lot of the poses. Just like your body can't get into that position. My stomach was in the way. I remember child's pose was like such a, like it was such a bummer because it's like one of the easiest poses, and my ass was like sticking straight up because my stomach, I couldn't get low enough. Anyways, I noticed like I can do this now, which I never used to be able to do. Look how tiny I look. I feel like my shoulders look so narrow now. Not this arm though. This arm still looks large. But, like I can just do things like that. I couldn't do that stuff before. And I also can cross my legs. So I still don't do it naturally, and I don't know if it's because I haven't lost enough weight that it's super comfortable, or if it's just I'm not used to it because never in my life have I naturally crossed my legs, and so now I'm just a spreader. But like if I do it, like I can, and it's not crazy uncomfortable and it looks fine. And I was trying to figure out a way to take a photo of it for Instagram, but there's not really an easy way to take a photo of crossed legs. So still working on it so I can have a cute little photo of it, but that's cool. I remember when I was a kid, when I was in 6th grade, I was in an assembly, and I was in this like advanced program. So it was like a class of gifted children or whatever. And the rest of the kids in the school did not like us. I don't know. Probably jealousy, and some of us were weird. and I was fat, you know. So a lot of the other kids, like the regular kids at the school, didn't like us, but we were all tight, so it was fine. And I remember though at an assembly, I crossed my legs, and like as a kid at that age, like you don't cross your legs, but I'd like seen adult women doing it, and it just seemed like very grown up, and it wasn't super comfortable, but I could do it. But this one bitch, sorry, this little 6th grader who was mean, like made so much fun of me for crossing my legs. And like, you know, I think they all thought as like gifted in the gifted class, like we thought we were better than them, which we didn't. But and so then I was crossing my legs and like trying to be fancy. Anyways, I feel like that experience scarred me. And then I was fat and couldn't cross my legs anyways. But tangent, but I can cross my legs now. And yeah. Other NSV is that this weekend, I mentioned on Saturday, I didn't go on a walk, but I did do something else active, and I went to a roller skating rink. So I've been trying to think of like active things I can do, things I can do with people that don't involve eating. Like that's kind of been something I've been thinking about, just because I can't really eat a lot, and I don't really want all of my relationships to always revolve around food. So I was like, oh, what about roller skating? I used to do that as a kid all the time. There was a roller skating rink in the nearby town, and you know, you'd go there all the time. It was like, it's such a nostalgia thing. And so my roommate made fun of me, and so I texted a close friend of mine who I grew up with. So she also had the nostalgia factor, and she was like, yes, let's do it. So we went to a roller skating rink, and it's really hard. I find rollerblading a lot easier. I grew up doing ice skating. Like I did lessons and like could do like jumps and shit, which I bet you it would have been even easier if I was thin. As a fat kid, it was not super easy, but like I was able to do it. Anyways, I find rollerblading easier. They didn't have rollerblades there, so we did roller skates, and it was like a family skate. Just because like I think it would be really fun to do like an adult skate. They have those at night. It's just like she lives in a different town, so it would be hard for us to like do that, at least us two. But anyways, we went. There were a lot of kids, so I was like really nervous about trying to not knock one over because I was not super graceful. But it's kind of like a core workout because you're working so much on trying to get your balance. And I managed to not fall at all, which I'm super clumsy. I don't know if I mentioned that my name, Grace, on here is not my real name, but it's a name I use online. I've been using online for years, and it's a childhood nickname because I am not graceful, and I was so clumsy as a kid that my parents thought it was hilarious to call me Grace. But I still managed to not fall, and it was a lot of fun. It was something I definitely would want to do again. And, you know, definitely an NSV. I remember I mentioned I used to ice skate all the time as a kid, so I was super comfortable with it. But like maybe 3 or 4 years ago now, I went ice skating with a group of friends from that I met from college. And so it's after college, and we went to an ice rink, and I only was able to skate for like maybe 20 minutes before my feet hurt so bad. And part of that is like I need arch supports and stuff like that. I really need arch supports, and I didn't bring them. But even then, I think it was just like my weight was significantly higher than it had been when the last time I had skated, and it just really prevented me from being physically comfortable enough to do it. Even though like I was able to skate, it was just my feet hurt so badly that I had to stop. So I'm actually excited. I want to do some ice skating not this summer, but next winter. I'm planning to do some skiing, which I haven't done since I was in high school either. I'm just excited to do some of these active things that I stopped doing. And, you know, when I did them, like I said, I've always been overweight, so it wasn't like I was thin when I did them, but I did gain a lot of weight, and it just became harder to participate. And I do enjoy those things, I guess. You know, you spend so long telling yourself you don't like them, and then you realize I just didn't like them because I didn't like how I felt. I felt out of breath and out of shape and uncomfortable and sweaty and gross and fat, and now I don't have to feel that way. So, yeah, despite feeling like shit right now, I do feel like I'm on kind of an upswing mentally, and super excited that I lost weight this week, and looking forward to prioritizing protein, deprioritizing carbs, getting in plenty of water, and hopefully we'll see a good loss next week. So thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, I was going to mention, watch Kitty Shrink. I will link her above, and if I remember below. She's doing a giveaway, and she's answering any question you have that is not related to keto or weight loss surgery. And it's a cool, I mean, I love Q&A videos, and this is a super fun way to get to know the people in our community, so you should go and check that out. All right, that's everything. Have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.